Let's take a live look, if we can, at Bourbon Street and take a look at the streets right now. Starting to pick up with some people, the crowded streets. This comes after 2 straight violent weekends there. And again, people are wondering if they can keep the visitors safe. Katie and Charisse are off tonight. I'm Karen Swenson. Of course, for the past 2 weekends, shootings sent hundreds of people running on Bourbon Street, and businesses are now working together to try to stop it from happening again. As Mike McDaniel explains, they're taking matters into their own hands.
Going into the weekend comes with some concern for business owner Brian Mullin at local 718 and 5-Star Dive Bar on Bourbon Street.
One of my bartenders had to go outside and hold a tourist's neck, put pressure on it because he was bleeding out of his jugular vein because he got shot.
For the last 2 weekends, there have been shootings in the 700 block of Bourbon, injuring a handful of people. Mullin says thankfully his bar was already closed for the night, but business is now taking a hit.
People are afraid to go to certain areas because it's been 2 weeks in a row.
To bring safety and business back to the street, businesses along the 700 block are banding together, hiring off-duty officers for security detail.
So what we have to do is step up and provide safety because it doesn't seem like our city is providing the police presence we need on Bourbon Street.
Mullin says he's seen crime increase on Bourbon Street ever since state troopers ended their patrols last year. Video even shows NOPD officers nearby when gunfire started last weekend.
And the police presence didn't stop it happening, so that's very concerning.
Bob Sims lives in the French Quarter and co-founded the French Quarter Task Force, which he says is low on manpower. He says that could be fixed if the city would allow tax money to pay for it. In the meantime, he says guns have no place on Bourbon Street.
That's the thing that really concerns me, is the amount of guns that are coming onto Bourbon Street.
When it comes to this weekend, which is the last one before proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test will be required to enter bars, NOPD isn't saying much about police presence. A statement from NOPD to Eyewitness News reads in part, "We can ensure that the NOPD continues to proactively patrol throughout the French Quarter."
Shootings in front of my bar.
Not taking any chances, Mullin is now closing at 2 a.m. because he says the risk isn't worth it.
I love this city. It's everything to me. I built my business here. I'm scared right now because we've let crime run rampant.
Mike McDaniel, Eyewitness News.